Me, my, oh, my, boo.
You crazy. What's happening? What's up?
What's good? What's good, world?
How y'all living? How y'all feel?
Welcome back.
We back at it in the attic.
This is episode 2, y'all. It's been a journey. Y'all don't know. This ain't it. This you see? It's hard work. You feel
Hella
me?
hard work.
So, episode 2, Smoke and Word Potcast. See, I don't think y'all caught that last time. But we want to put emphasis on this podcast because we do what we want around here.
Yeah. Not your typical pod.
Right. So, what's good, CJ?
Man, I can't call it like an alcoholic. You know?
She's such a grandma, y'all. She gonna have all these phrases that your great auntie used to say back in 86.
My name is Clara Lee, bro. Like, you can't get any more old lady grandma.
That's
like
facts.
Sitting on the porch in a rocking chair than that.
That's facts.
No, I'm living good. Spring is amongst us.
Yes.
Happy
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See, real New Year.
Real
for
ones
y'all
know.
that don't know. Those that know. But for y'all that don't know, you know, when the spring comes around, that's what used to mark the New Year. You know, there's nothing new that begins when the earth is dead. You gotta look at it like it's snow, it's dead, there's no trees, there's no leaves, there's no flowers. That's not the beginning of anything. The beginning is always luscious and beautiful. Like, so that's even where April Fools comes from. You know, that people call people fools who were still celebrating the New Year in spring. You know, when the reality is they was the ones with the real knowledge. But you know,
ooh, that nigga spit.
you see, I don't be trying to go there with y'all because y'all think it's all. You see the pretty face. You know what I'm saying? You see the pretty face, and you think that's it.
They think that's it.
They think that's it.
And so you so much bigger than
it's
that.
so much deeper than right.
But no, this is gonna be a good time of year.
Yes.
You know, I always look forward to just the warmer weather, like you said, things growing.
Things are new.
Yeah, just that refreshed mindset. So Happy New Year to all the believers out there.
The knowers, the doers. So Trap Natural just sponsored an event that was called Rebirth, a celebration of new beginnings. So that was pretty dope last week. We had sound bowl meditation. We had yoga being led by, you know, some people that I know, Swab Beauty, as well as I Am Luna Rosa. That's both of their handles on Instagram. Shout them out. Thank you for a beautiful event. And also Jasmine, Junkyard Jazz up in Fairmount. She has a beautiful community center, you know, where she has a garden. She feeds people. You can come take whatever you want.
That's beautiful.
It's just such a dope environment. And shout out to Trap Natural while we're on it. Definitely sponsoring this episode as well. Right here I have our original OG, triple OG premium rolling papers. You got your tips in there. You got your king size papers that are a little longer than usual. You got your place here to roll up. Magnetic enclosure. All of our papers are made from hemp. They are nicotine-free, tobacco-free, chemical-free. That is why they burn slow. There's also no animal byproducts, so they are vegan, fully plant-based, adhesive, and all of that good stuff. So, you know, if you smoking with Trap Natural, even let's say 50% of the time, get away from your backwoods, your cigarillos, and all of that, then you're still doing yourself a service. So, shout out to Trap Natural, www.trapnatural.com, @trap.natural. on Instagram and Facebook. Peace.
Follow your girl.
Follow. Y'all know what we got going on.
Yeah, she doing big things. If you know, you know.
And my bestie has been along the way, every step of the way. you know, y'all know she packing bags in the background, you know what I'm saying? Helping with the tables at the events,
Hey,
you know.
that's what we gotta do.
You know, so it ain't, you know, it take a community. Everything takes a village, you know.
But, I mean, your success is my success.
Yes.
Your growth is my growth. And if you cool and hanging around people who don't look at it like that,
Woo.
get you some new niggas.
Yeah, that's a word right there in itself.
Friends.
That ain't the word of the day, but that's the word.
It's gonna be a word today.
It's gonna be a word today. For real, because like we family, it's bigger than us being friends. We done known each other almost 30 years. Like,
literally.
I call her mama. You know what I mean? Her mama call my mama. Like her mama call me. You know what I mean? Like we you know, it's deeper than rap. And
locked in.
the support goes deep. The roots run deep. So that's real friendship. That's real family. That's real love. That's real community. And that's what we're trying to foster and continue to build here at Smoking Word Podcast.
Yes, Lord. Yeah. I say we get right into this word today because it's a powerful one, and I think it's gonna generate some good conversation for us. I think it's a good topic to kind of start out. We just kind of starting out, so for this to be one of the first topics, I think it's gonna be good. Yeah,
definitely show you what our podcast is all about, you know, and how we're coming with things and what our goal is here and how we want to inspire people to think in general. You know, thinking doesn't seem to be, it's like, no.
Doesn't seem to be as common as it once was.
But it's crazy because we live in an information age, but this seems like the time where people want to seek out the least information.
Right. The irony, right.
But it's because it's so at your fingertips that you think you know it all, you know? But, so we're going to get right into the word of the day. And it comes from one of my favorite artists that I hold near and dear to my heart, you know, and have since my childhood. And he's right behind us. Like you can see him right here. The one and only Bob Marley, you know.
Robert Nesta.
And I believe he is an Aquarius too, like like Miss CJ. I think February 6th.
Oh, yeah, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
So y'all can fact check us. You know, it's gonna be somebody like, actually, his birthday is February 9th. I'm like, all right, you got it. You got it. But Bob Marley is inspiring us. We'll get right to the word, but I just want to talk about how I love Bob. Like, my grandma used to play him when I was a kid. Like, that's how I know. I'm 5 years old singing I Shot the Sheriff in the back. But I didn't kill no deputy.
Man.
I didn't kill no deputy, though. But if you don't know that, you know what I'm saying? That's in my soul. And I know CJ knows. She always been on the music. Like,
yeah, for sure. Like, my uncle, all my uncles, but one in particular was a huge, still is a huge reggae fan. And so when I think about childhood, that's like what I hear. Between that and like jazz. Like, that's what I hear. So
that's the soundtrack.
Yeah. So let's just talk about, like, as a revolutionary.
Man, where do we begin?
Where do we?
First of all, do you realize he passed away when he was 34? Don't it seem like he did so much more?
34. I think he was like 36.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in his 30s.
Literally. Like, I would have never guessed that.
Right. Even his pictures, how he looked, he kind of don't look 30, so.
When I went to see the movie and it came up at the end, like, he was only 36 years old, like, I'm sitting there stuck, like, wow, to have accomplished and reached and touched so many people.
That's our age, basically, right now. Like,
literally.
I gotta speed it up. I got 6 months.
Right, we slipping.
I got 6 months to get my shit into gear. Like,
into straight gear. Like, put it in overdrive. What are we doing?
What are we doing with our love? But for real, like, that's really deep to me. Like, his age, and you know me, like, we talked about conspiracy theories. I feel like he got murked. But, you know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, my mom says that all the time. Like, that wasn't no damn toe cancer.
Yeah.
And it's true. It was just such a random way to go. Not that it doesn't happen or couldn't have biologically, scientifically, whatever. But, I don't know.
I heard a story where one time he had a visitor. He you know, they chit-chatting it up in the living room. He go to leave, put on his boot. He felt a boom on his toe. in the boot. And then from there...
Now, where did you hear this at?
I don't reveal my sources. That's like the first... That's the first, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first rule of journalism. But for real, I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? But I know he was a holistic guy. He wouldn't go get chemo and all that, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, you know.
Did you see the movie?
I did. I need to go see it.
Yeah, you should see it. I feel like it got really... I feel like it got like really mixed reviews.
Yeah. I like the actor that played him.
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I mean, with someone who had accomplished so much in such a short time of adult life,
right?
You know, I don't think it was possible for them to put every last little thing. So it kind of just focused on one very specific period of time, and within that, it was like he was having all these epiphanies. He was at the end of his life, you know, where obviously a lot was going on in his head.
That's deep.
And I thought the acting was just very powerful too.
I like that actor. He played Malcolm X in that one movie.
Yeah, the chick who, One Night in Miami.
Yeah.
And forgive me, I don't remember his name, but him and the woman who played the brilliant actress, because she was something. Like, she was captivating to me.
And Claire's an actress. And I mean a trained actress. So she know, like, we always get deep into the movie criticism and all that because she's a trained actress. Yes. And I think I could act. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could.
She funny acting for sure. That's for sure. But no, I did go to school for theater, so I feel like when I'm looking at a film, I'm looking at it way differently than most people. And sometimes I feel like that's a gift and a curse. Yeah. Because sometimes I can't enjoy something because I'm looking at the set. I'm looking at the acting. I'm looking at, they should have directed it this way. Or why did they do that?
I can see they might.
Right. Any little thing, I'm like picking it apart. Mm-hmm. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think filmmaking is a huge... complex art form, and you're not going to please everybody. It's one of those things, but I thought it was
just like any art. Like, some people gonna get pissed, some people gonna love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just
I thought
being an artist.
I don't know. I thought it was really well done.
All right, so we love Bob Marley over here, and like she said, he was a revolutionary, and this is one of my favorite quotes that he has said in the past. So the word of the day today. All right. So Bob Marley, end quote. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. Woo! Woo!
Dylan.
Fire. Spit on fire. Like, let me repeat that. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. Digest that. We'll give y'all a few seconds.
Just a little breather.
So, what you think about that? What comes to mind first? You think about that?
I'm a very, I feel introspective person. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that comes to my mind is all the times that I put money or...
That's good.
Material things or possessions at the forefront in my life, and how proud I am to have gotten to a place now where I feel like I'm still working on it, but I feel like I don't look at it like that anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like I've matured in that realm of my life, and I'm not as superficial as I once was.
Ooh. Now that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. Because that's true. Like, I even been confronted with that, I say recently, because I would always say I'm not no materialistic person. I never have been. But you have to really evaluate yourself sometimes. Like, where do you place value? It's all about value. What's your value system? Mm-hmm. Is someone a better person to you because of what they have? Because it's murderers that got a lot of stuff, So if you place someone on the scale of good because of the things that they've obtained, that can be problematic for you in the future, So that is very deep, and I have to check myself on that a lot because I'm a Libra. Like, it kind of is a thin line there. Like, we like beautiful things. It's about the beauty and appreciating beauty. But there's a thin line between appreciating beauty and liking nice things and materialism, you know?
Yes.
So sometimes I have to catch myself because I walk that line. Like, wanting, like, oh, I deserve luxury. Like, you know, but just always coming back to what you value. You know, it's a value system. It's a value placement. Do you value yourself more for what you have? And if that's the case, that's how you'll treat other people.
Right. And the fact of the matter is, like I always say, you got to be rich without money. You know?
I always love that quote when you say that.
If all you have is money or these material things, there's nothing. What's going on in here?
Mm-hmm.
And I've just always been a deeper thinker, I want to reach people on a deeper level. It's just how I carry myself through life. And I don't know. It's one of those tough things because you can't do anything without money, obviously.
Right.
You can't do nothing.
It's a tool, though.
Right.
It's not to be on a pedestal.
Exactly.
It's a means to an end.
Right.
And some people make it the end in itself.
The end all be all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's really just there to get you the other things that you need. That's it. Another tool, just like you could barter. You know, it was a time where money didn't exist. So where was the value then, you know?
Yeah. So what do you think are some things that some hard lessons that you feel you've had to learn when it comes to materialism or superficiality?
Ooh. I'll be honest, like, I recently had, like, a car situation. Like, and that really brought a lot of things to my attention about how I look at things. Like, I honestly felt like, oh my God, how am I living my life? My car's in the shop, you know? How I appear to other people, like, you know?
Right, like, oh, I don't have a car.
I don't have a car. Moment. What do they think of me? You know? And it's just so crazy to think like that because that's even subjective. If I lived in LA or New York, who cares? You know what I mean?
No one has a car.
So it's all perspective.
The older you get, if this makes any sense, the more money you should acquire, but the less important it should become. And that's why I always be talking about like how when we starting our stuff and we trying to get out here in the world, whether it be fame, fortune, whatever happens to come our way, we got to be right here.
Right.
I think a lot of people get thrown into whether it's the music industry, the sports industry. We get a lot of young people get catapulted into having lots of money, and if you're not ready, if you're not sound, if you're not spiritually sound, if you're not tapped in, as they say, you're not even gonna be able to enjoy the fruit. It's gonna rot right before you because you're not ready for it.
That's deep, and that's what be ending up happening a lot because it's the mindset. If you have that lack mindset or what some call a poverty mindset, no matter how much money you have flowing through your hands, it'll never be enough because you think in a poverty or lack mindset. You know? Right. Abundance is a mindset, so no matter how much you have, you'll always be in an abundant mindset. You know.
Right.
And that I was just thinking about what you were saying, like how money really is a spiritual thing, like how we say it's a currency, but you know, energy is an energy. Energy is a currency too. You know, so even if somebody walk in a room with an attitude, that's going to speak, you know, a certain way to people, whether they want to receive you a certain way. So it could be used as a means to an end, just like money can, you know. So the more that I looked at money as a currency and a means to an end, just like a current that flows, like that's why it's a water term. If you let it flow constantly, it's going to come and go as it pleases because it's water. And if you treat it like that, then you'll have a better relationship with it. But when you try to hold on to it, that's like a lack mindset. And when any water that isn't flowing, it's stagnant, it's murky, it gets dirty, bacteria grows. So that's how you can look at money too.
Wow. That's such an interesting concept.
It's all water terms. When you think about it, bank is like the banks of the river. Current is flowing like the current. We say cash flow. That's water. Be water. with your money too. You have to know there's going to be times where the tide is low. There's going to be times when the tide is high. But how you handle that is your mindset.
Touche, friend.
Yeah, you're right.
Preach, brother.
So I just feel like we're in a time right now where like materialism is like at an all-time high though.
Yes.
Like
yes.
in an all-time like I think like shit really hit the fan recently. Like in these past, and like the pandemic brought a lot of things to light. Like how people were living their lives very meaningless. You know, a lot of things that just didn't matter.
Yeah.
Money going to places that don't matter. You know, just everything. It really showed us who we were. You know, and who we are. And if you haven't made any adjustments since 2020, I really don't know where you've been. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just look. I mean, to me, money is just not like a. I look at it way more long term, I guess, than I did. So at this point in my life, it's like as long as I'm self-sufficient, I can pay my mortgage, I can do what I want to do, I can travel, then I don't feel a lack.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as I'm good. And like I said, to me, it's more so about planning ahead. Because you can spend $1 million in a day. You know, it's really about prioritizing your goals and trying to figure out how to make your money grow itself.
And work for you.
Yeah, and work for you. Get on that. So you making while you sleep, honey.
Because that's even a mentality that you have to work for money, too.
Right.
You know? Because an abundance mindset is more of a flow. Like, it's always constantly flowing to me
and
because of who I am and what I am and my creative energy. It'll always be there. So when you have that mindset of that, it's always going to be there if I'm moving like this, you know? Like you said, a long-term thinking. Like, we both we own stuff, you know, and all of that. Like, so we have that mindset. And it's not like we millionaires or nothing, but it's just how you take care of your provision that you was given, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of times people just simply focus on what they don't have instead of what they do.
Right.
And that's just a silent killer.
Ooh. And that's like the comparison is a thief of joy type.
You're right.
But like, you're right. If you focus on what you do have, then you're in a gratitude.
A state of gratitude all the time.
Yeah.
Like, this is enough. This is enough. And that translates into I am enough.
Right.
And you know what I mean?
All of that.
It goes
deep.
So deeper than just what I do have, you know. But somebody once told me things are just things.
That's deep.
And that's so true. Like cars, money, jewelry, homes, anything that's not a body or spirit can be replaced.
Right.
You know? So we attach ourselves, you know, to all of these physical things that don't really mean anything. You know, and it's kind of like we were talking about the last episode, like how all the podcasts nowadays are saying, oh, what is this? And if you're not buying your woman a Gucci bag, then what are you doing? And it's like, no, how about buy me a year's worth of therapy?
Right.
Because that to me
or
is
how do
more,
you love her?
Right. Like, how do you feel? What?
He bought you everything, but y'all don't talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all sleep in 2 different bedrooms. That be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all this glitz and glam when you get home to nothingness.
Right. And I also think
fluff.
Something that I've been realizing is happening is people are equating self-care and luxury with mental health. And they are not one and the same.
Ooh.
I've been
They can't go ahead. They're cousins.
Right.
But they're not twins.
They're not interchangeable. You know, and I think I'm seeing that so much where it's like this soft girl era and going to brunch every Sunday and buying designer and getting my nails done. But at the end of the day, you're just ignoring trauma.
Right.
You're
it's
just
still happening.
Yeah, you're just putting lipstick on a pig.
Ooh.
You know, because
ouch.
You're not really getting to the root. So I'm not. That's why I knew it was a reason when all that soft girl era bullshit and all that shit came about. Because I'm like, this is just a mask
Ooh.
I didn't understand why it was.
What you ain't.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Because I like to take a bubble bath and go out with my girls too. But then I'm like, wait a minute, something's not sitting. And I was like, just literally the other day, like as we've been starting to have these different conversations, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I think that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're equating mental healing. They're equating healing.
Right.
With self-care.
With actions. With short actions.
Yeah. And that ain't doing, you ain't even
scratching the surface.
Woo, baby.
Because that could be avoidance too.
Yeah.
But that also made me think while you was talking, like, about how people aren't seeing the spiritual side of things, you know? Because materialism isn't just being so into money, it's being so attached to the earthly realm that you don't even see the spirit realm at all.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very backwards now. Like, really, the work should be done in the spirit realm, and then you reap the benefits in the material realm.
You execute what you've learned.
Right, you plant the seed in the spirit world, and then you reap it in the real world.
Right, the tree grows. People
do it backwards. They do all their work in the material world and neglect the spirit world. And then they wonder why they feel empty in the inside at the end of the day. But you're not living a real life, you know? This ain't the reality here. This is just what we see every day. It's a projection, you know, of what you think life is.
Woo! Preach, preacher!
So that's your choice, what you about to be projecting and what you gonna see every day.
If you met someone and they were struggling to attach themselves more to the spiritual world, if they were getting lost and caught up so much in the physical world, but they really wanted to transcend, what advice would you give them?
That's a deep question. I like it. Gets the wheels turning.
That's what I'm here
You're
for.
right, yeah. Inspiring thought. Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is to, you need to isolate yourself a bit.
Ooh.
You know, or...
Step one.
Yeah, step one. Step one is going to be some, what's the other word for isolation?
Solitude.
Solitude. Yeah. Solitude is required because you have to drown out the outside world to get to your inner self. And you have to hear what that's trying to say. And most of the time we know and we can feel it and we can interpret it, but we do a lot of fluff. We do a lot of distractions to keep us from hearing it because we know the truth already. So it's like when they say, like, you know your truth is from here. You don't have to ask 10 people what they think about anything. Yeah. You know what you think. You know, and that's God in you telling you the truth, you know? So a lot of times I think it's a version of running, too, you know? Because people know when they sit in silence what they're going to have to face.
Yeah. Woo! Woo!
And if you're not willing to face that, then you're not ready to go to the next level, you know? Facing yourself is the hardest person you're going to ever face. When they say you meet the boss at the end, it's you. It's you.
It's you. Your alter ego
don't say shit about your
ready
mama.
Ready to go to Mortal Kombat with your ass.
Don't be like, oh, my mama, my daddy. No, it's about you now.
Yeah.
It's about you now.
I can truly sympathize with that because that was the part of my journey that was missing. That was the part of my healing journey that I was avoiding. Right. Looking over. And until you really stop and hear God, you're going to keep repeating the same cycles.
With different faces.
Right. Different faces, different experiences. However he wants to translate it to you, it's going to come to you. And like you said, we always know.
We know.
We always can feel it right here.
Right.
But part
of that is trusting yourself, too.
And just honestly being honest with the fucked up parts about your life. Right. And who you are. Right. Once you get past that, I feel, at least for me, I know everybody's healing journey is different.
I think that's the piece that's the same. Yeah. That you have to be like, oh.
Like you said.
It was me too.
To level... whatever, 69,
right,
or whatever of the game, and it's you have that, you know, that one-on-one mirror.
You think you about to meet some crazy ass looking monster.
Or like you said, your mama, your daddy.
Yeah, round one, and then you come out. You like, what? Hold on, y'all ain't say. I had to fight me.
It's so true. Like,
yeah. And then that's where most people stop and they turn around.
Yep. Go right back to square one.
Yeah. And they like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to just find another chick that'll deal with this.
Right. Or somebody that don't know me.
Right.
As well as I know me.
And I can just be better at masking my red flags longer. You know? But it's like the higher up you get, the more you heal and clear your vessel. It'd be hard because you could see through everybody else's bullshit too. But it ain't your place.
Yeah. You got to step back.
It ain't your place.
You got to step back sometimes and let people, like...
Somebody told me this one time, like... Because sometimes you think it is, like when you were in the beginning of your journey. Like, I could say this, vouch for this in many ways. Like, when I stopped getting perms and I went natural and I was trying to get everybody... Oh, yeah. You know, it's so many levels. I done did it with my diet. I done did it with perm. But, like, the older I get, the more I realize this is my journey. You know, and I can't force this on nobody. Because one of my mentors had said to me, she was like, what if you bring this up to somebody on a level of healing that they're not ready for, they come along with you, and you can't guide them.
Ooh!
She's like, now you got somebody who might be ready to commit suicide or something because of some shit you said, because they weren't ready.
Ooh. And that's so, ooh.
And I'm like, damn, I never thought of it. Like, I thought I was helping them. Say, yeah, but that's God's timing. That's not your job.
Right.
To tell somebody where they should be at.
Right. And that's where alignment comes in, too. Yeah. Because you see, over these last few years, we've had to let go of so many things, so many friendships, different experiences, and truly letting go sometimes is the hardest thing. While we on the way out. Right. Let us get on out, because this is getting kind of woo. But no, it's like, you know, going back to the quote though, I get chills when I think about.
I got some too.
When I just think about what his vision was and what he stood for, and
he embodied that quote.
Yeah, he really did embody that quote, because it was like he was
an international superstar,
but still used to be on the block in Jamaica.
Care about all that.
You know what I mean? And he still, you know.
That interview, somebody asked him, like, are you a rich man? He was like, what? He was like, I don't even know what you're asking me.
You're right. What is that?
He was like, I have a lot of money. He was like, so?
But that doesn't make me rich. Yeah.
Like you always used to say, you gotta be rich in spirit.
You gotta be rich in spirit. You gotta be rich without money. You know? And I just, you know, I think that society is going along.
Because you know it's me, I ain't looking.
But no, I just think, like, I'm grateful for our journeys, and I'm grateful that we didn't necessarily grow up with silver spoons, or I feel like I grew up pretty privileged.
But we were okay, but it gave us kind of both sides.
Yeah, I saw both sides because I feel like my family was full of different socio-demographics, and it wasn't like, you know, my mom did very well. She definitely broke a lot of generational curses, but at the same time, we wasn't balling to the point where I didn't know humility.
And she was still a single mom. That's what people got to realize too. Like, she made it look good and she was a boss and all that, but at the end of the day, she still was doing it herself. Right. Which isn't the way.
Is a struggle.
Yeah.
No matter how you put it.
Yeah, you could flip it and
even if it's not financial, it's still an emotional void. Yeah. There's still a lot left.
She got to be away from her child more than she would like to. Yeah. All of that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's not normal for a woman.
It's not.
So we have to acknowledge the ways that our society has failed us, you know?
So what are some ways you feel like we could improve? How could society as a whole, like, just improve as far as it comes to, because I'm not going to lie, I'm guilty of it too. I shop all day, every day. I'm always spending money somewhere with somebody.
I mean, I can't act like I'm not, like, I'd rather spend money on experiences than things. Man. Yeah. Like, it's still walking that line. Like, I do like nice things. You know? I like to look nice, you know, but I look at it more like on a scale of I treat myself nice in the sense of, I'm eating better foods. I am more conscious of these things that I place on my skin. Like, all of my products are clean. All of my lifestyle is this. And yes, that does cost me more money. But it's just this where I'm.
What would you rather put it to?
Right.
Everybody got a choice.
You gonna pay on. I tell people because I always worked in the healthcare, like health insurance industry. You either go pay on the front end or the back end. So you either gonna invest in the good foods and fruits and herbs and teas and elixirs. You gonna invest the money in the beginning, or on the back end when you got cancer, you got to clean it up, and that costs $40,000 instead of just spending $4,000 a year on good shit. So, you either gonna catch it where you coming or you going. You know. So that's up to you.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way. Lord.
This
well, that's a whole.
Maybe next year.
Man, we can do a whole episode on.
Yeah. But that's like even we just so separated from the truth.
But that's part of the system too, though. Like we were talking about last time with the pharmaceutical industry. It's the same thing with organic foods and all natural hair and skin products. Of course, they're more expensive,
right? Because
who's going to be more affected by that?
Right.
People, black and brown people.
Who do they want to have the knowledge and who do they not?
Black and brown people who can't afford organic, who can't afford. Right. You know, it's the cycle continues. You know,
and then we can get into food deserts and accessibility and all of these things too that are well known to be purposefully done. You know.
Yeah. So,
but I think we really got to the core of what the word of the day was, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like the death to materialism to me, you know? And I think we are human and we are millennials and we were brought up in an age of consumption. However, for me, it's not always trying to be the best. Oh, I can't do this or that. It's just the awareness that's key. That when you're doing something, it's not unconscious. So you can literally make that decision and don't let it make you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm about is awareness.
That's such a good word, friend. I think we just need to start looking deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds very cliche or whatever, but
but people are shallow.
Yeah, when you stop caring about all the stuff around you, you know, that can be replaced. You know, I had to start looking at my life like, okay, who are the people,
the character,
and the character
things, traits that I value,
that are in my life. What do I really want from my friendships? What do I really want from my relationships? Right. Romantic, platonic, whatever.
You want value, you know. You want real things. Like, what do you value? Integrity, honesty, love, you know, hard work. Whatever these things are, those are the people you need to be matching up with. That matters. Your values. You don't have to compromise your values to have people around or just for the sake to blend in with society. Society is sick. So if you're blending in with it, you're already offset.
Man, step outside.
Man, go ground. Put your feet on the ground.
Yeah, I was just saying that when I asked you. Man, when I asked you about what you would do what advice you would give someone trying to transcend more into the spiritual plane, instead of the physical world.
Being in nature is a good.
Man, that would be number one, and it's something that I still have to really work on.
So.
We appreciate y'all coming through today.
Smoking Word, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Death to Materialism. Yeah. I think that's a good name for it.
Death to Materialism. I like that. Till next time.
Cheers, folks.